I had mixed feelings about talking about the school shooting, but I figured it's on all of our minds. We're all thinking about it, so we might as well address it. And yeah, I mean, it's tragic. It's insane that this keeps happening. I looked on the Gun Violence Archive website. This year alone, in 2022, there have been 215 mass shootings. That's more than one a day. And I don't know exactly how they define mass shooting, but more than one a day. We only hear about it now when it's something particularly atrocious. But this is truly an epidemic in our country. There was another one today that in Philadelphia that didn't make the news because only a small number of people were killed. So this is an epidemic in our country of people who are so lost, so alienated, so isolated, and suffering so much and so angry that not only do they want to end their own existence, but they feel compelled to cause as much pain to random people out there in the world as possible while they're doing it. I mean, I can't imagine what it's like to be in that mental state where just so angry at the world in general, not even anyone in particular, but just at the world, to feel that need to lash out in pain like that and just kill as many random strangers as possible. I can't imagine what that's like, but this is an epidemic sweeping our country. And yeah, gun control would help if we could have common sense gun control. I mean, an AR-15, what use is that except for murdering our fellow human beings as quickly and efficiently as possible? So, I mean, yes, common sense gun control would help, but our inability to enact common sense gun control is just another symptom of this disconnection that is rampant in our culture, this isolation, our inability to connect with each other, our inability of our politicians to connect, our inability of people in communities to agree enough on common sense gun control. That's just one more symptom of this isolation and disconnection, which is plaguing our society. And so I mean, I don't even know what the answer is. Obviously, we need to make our country, our society, our culture not so isolating. And then obviously we talk about this a lot here about the importance of connecting to our hearts and how our culture raises us to be disconnected from our hearts, to be disconnected from our emotions. And that taken to an extreme is what's producing these sociopaths in our country. I mean, someone to be able to do that, a person has to be totally disconnected from their heart, totally disconnected from their emotions. But no one who's in touch with no one who's connected to their heart could commit an atrocity like that for no reason. And so, I mean, faced with this tragedy, I don't know what else to do except to continue to try to spread love, try to continue to encourage people to connect with your hearts. Because when we connect with our own hearts, then we can't ignore the suffering of people out there in the world. When we connect with our own hearts, when we feel our own emotions, we can't ignore the emotions of others out there, people who are suffering, people who are isolated, people who are alone. And it's a one idea from Buddhism is that we're all connected and no one can be happy unless everyone is happy. And that idea is where we're taught the opposite of that in our culture. We're taught to focus on ourselves, making ourselves happy, making our family, maybe making our families happy also. But we're taught to take care of ourselves, right? If other people are failing, that's because they're not working hard enough or there's something wrong with them. And so, but it's these random school shootings and terrorists in general are making it so that the suffering of the whole world is all of our suffering. And it's tragic and it's horrible, but unless all of us start treating the suffering of others as our own, this problem is going to continue to get worse. And the only way out of it is for our culture to change from the inside out, for us to start connecting to our own hearts so that we can connect to each other. Connecting to our own hearts so that we no longer let others suffer. That's that we can't sit by and allow so many people to grow disconnected and alienated in the country. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what the answer is except to continue to spread love, to connect to those isolated people out there who are feeling so alone and alienated that they feel they have to lash out in violence like that. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say about that.